Wilburn. Accolonn, just an honest question. I know last few months you have been negative towards most things WoW, I'm still, and been on Final Fantasy promoting it. Why the swap back to being concerned with WoW now? So there's no swap back. I'm still negative about most things WoW. That has never changed. Nor do I think it will change in the very near future. Dragonflight will have to be incredibly good for me to lose that negativity. Because it's not negativity in the sense of I just hate WoW. I think WoW have made some particular mistakes that is going to be difficult to fix. But I'm not just over it. You know, I don't think I've ever sat here and said, yeah, I think WoW's great now. That's not the case. I think WoW is still pretty shit. I think Dragonflight can fix a lot of that. And I will be honest, a lot of my sort of change of heart towards World of Warcraft did come from the announcement of Dragonflight. But not in terms of copium. I see what Blizzard is doing with Dragonflight. I like where Blizzard is going with Dragonflight. I like the fact that it's sort of a return to basics, none of this system bullshit, just a nice world, a world that we want to be a part of. One system, which is dragon riding, talent trees are returning. So there's things that I look at for Dragonflight and I go, this might be the return to World of Warcraft that I want to see. This might be the return to World of Warcraft that I want to see. We'll see. We'll see if that actually is the case. Right now, most of what I do is focused on lore and speculation, which is something I've done ever since. I've never stopped doing lore and speculation. I stopped focusing so heavily on lore and speculation, but I've never stopped. I still spoke about lore all the time in streams. Every single one of these Q&As, I get questions about the lore in World of Warcraft, and what the fuck am I going to do? Be like, no, you don't get to ask me that. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm going to answer because I still love the story of WoW. I don't like the most recent decisions that they've made, but, you know, you're not always going to like everything. So I'm covering what brings me joy. I'm covering what makes me happy. I have theories about World of Warcraft, and I fucking hate not being able to share them. So I share them. If people like hearing them, they like hearing them, they click the like button. They don't, and it's fine. But yeah, I've not stopped simping for Final Fantasy. I still believe Final Fantasy is, by a mile, the greatest MMO in the world. By a mile. That is my personal opinion on it. I think Final Fantasy is incredible, and I can't wait to get back to it. Doesn't mean that I don't love the story of WoW. I can like two things at the same time. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Okay. We have Wilburn Miller, who you were just sort of answering there. He's going to jump in a second and just kind of elaborate due to the constraints of YouTube's chatting system.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's just get you off server mute. Wilburn?
Hey, how you doing there, buddy?
Good on you, man. Good on you.
Hey, the YouTube didn't get my entire question because you can only type so much and then it cuts you off. Actual question was, I watch your lore videos since before you started streaming method rating and all, like way back when on YouTube. I was really disheartened because for a while, I know you've been hyped up on Final Fantasy and stuff, and I kind of got kind of sideways and like, I'm not watching Accolonn anymore. That's all he's about. Because, you're kind of crapping on WoW, but it wasn't a bad spot. So, I saw your stream today and I started watching, and I was curious because, like, I was just hoping that this just wasn't a flash in the pan going back, oh, it's a new hot topic because expansion's coming out.
Wilburn, you cut out there.
I was hoping that you continue, with the lore. Like maybe you'll pick up WoW again and start deep diving into the lore and having like the hour-long cast where I'll sit here and go to sleep listening to you speaking your nice accent about the lore and having to go back in the morning to rewatch.
So, I've done my last 4 videos were actually full-blown lore speculation stuff. The current plan, as I said last week, main channel is going back to full-blown lore. I have a separate channel for the sort of critique stuff, because I think a lot of people misunderstand my positions on World of Warcraft. As a game, so if we're talking about the systems, we're talking about the gameplay, we're talking about the focus and the philosophy of World of Warcraft, I hate that game. I can't stand what Ian and his team believe pass for good gaming. The idea that 4 world quests a day presents itself as good gameplay is beyond me, you know? So as a game, I currently really dislike WoW. As stories go, I still love that fucking universe, you know? I still love the game, and I love the story of the game. So for me, it was basically just, I'll be honest with you, there was a point where I was incredibly angry, but more so hurt. You know, I was hurt at the disrespect that Blizzard was showing their longtime players, but also their game and their story. The way that they treated the story in Shadowlands, you know, just felt like they really couldn't care less. It was almost like, oh yeah, we'll do the one thing that is actually kind of impossible to do, and we don't care if you believe it or not, because who gives a shit? So yeah,
that's right. Yeah, because I played since vanilla, and you become, believe it or not, like everybody can say what they want, but I played World of Warcraft since vanilla, and you become emotionally attached to your avatar. That's you. You've spent years and years playing it, so it's an extension of yourself. And when somebody steps on it or shits on it, you take it personal because you feel like they've done that to you. And I've unstuck from WoW for the past 3 months because it's a shit show. It's
exactly
horrible.
But that's exactly where you are now, is exactly where I was. You know, I hated what they had done, you know, and I specifically, there's one thing that I will mention, and some people will get it, some people won't. The Loyalist campaign. We spent the entirety of BFA pledging our loyalty to Sylvanas, working with her. Her final words to us is, when next you see me, you will understand, and we still don't fucking understand. Because Blizzard couldn't care less about that storyline. You know, as soon as the storyline no longer mattered, they were like, fuck it, you know, screw him. The Gift of N'Zoth is another good example of, what's the point of that? You know, people have it, it still doesn't seem to mean anything. So I got really butthurt, and yes, that allowed, like, that did make me sort of lose track of the things that I love. And for a while, I think I needed to vent a bit and, you know, be angry at WoW, until I realized, wait a second, I still spend most of my days thinking and dreaming with speculation. You know, I genuinely do. I'll stand outside in the sun every day drinking coffee, and I'll think about WoW. I'll think about stories in WoW. And so I just thought, well, why don't I just cover the thing that I actually love, which is the story, and then leave the gameplay just out of it? Because, you know, for gameplay, I can play Final Fantasy, and I've recently started playing Star Wars The Old Republic, and also a great game. If I want a good MMO experience, I'll play Final Fantasy, and, well, to be fair, Star Wars The Old Republic is not a good MMO experience. It's a great single-player experience. But then with WoW, I'll focus on the story, and I'll be hopeful for Dragonflight, because...
That's what I'm doing. I'm really hopeful for Dragonflight. I think it all started with Pickle Jesus and the Pancake Ray of Death. I think that's when the lore started taking a real downward spiral. I mean, it made no sense. He goes off into Narnia, becomes bald, comes back, he's a Buddhist monk. He kills Deathwing Dick with a pancake, goes off and loses his family and wife and kids. Like, where did they go? Are they dead? Were they left in the great beyond? Where are they at? He said they were right there. I didn't see them.
I agree with you 100%. I think Dragonflight is a good opportunity for Blizzard to return back to its roots, back to the origins, back to what all of us loved. Simple, straightforward Azeroth stories. If they can pull that off, I'm right back in the game, because I said this last week, and I'll say it as many times as people need to hear it. I still find myself, even now, sometimes wanting to log into World of Warcraft, because there is something special about that game. The music, the zones, the sometimes monotonous of dailies can actually be quite fun. And I would love to get that back. You know, I miss playing my Warlock. I miss it. I want to be back on my Warlock, and I want to do things in my Warlock.
I miss Wrath of the Lich King, listening to Dalaran music, running mount trains, going in circles.
Oh, yeah.
There's something to do.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
Well, you don't have that child enjoyment. In World of Warcraft, you could go in there, and it was like you were a kid again. You got to do things you could never do in real life. You enjoyed yourself. There was child wonderment when you went to explore. Mm-hmm. You could just wander what's in that next dungeon, what I'm just going to drop, or something cool drops. Oh, yeah. You know, and they don't have that anymore. It's all, look at this loot table that we data mined. Here's the cinematic before the raid comes out. And this is all the strats for the boss before anything's even done. And it's like, oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm going to be honest with you. Myself and Rurikon had a conversation about this last week on the podcast, the Frozen Sodium Throne. If you guys haven't subbed to Rurikon yet, you absolutely have to. We have a weekly podcast there. And we were actually talking about this. Guides in video games have destroyed what video games are supposed to be. In World of Warcraft, data mining is, in my opinion, should be illegal. Like, they should absolutely not allow data mining to happen in World of Warcraft. It destroys the story even before you've had the opportunity to play the story.
And they should do like Final Fantasy in company testing for raids. No raid team first. None of that. Just get rid of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, they don't need beta tests. They don't need data mines. Just, if you want to test different classes and you want to test the world, do it in limited fashion. So, for example, have the beta there, have the world be testable, but have one dungeon that people can run to sort of test out their classes, and then have one raid with a couple of bosses just to see, how people are handling the raids and more players in a group, and then it's done. Allow the game to launch and allow us to enjoy the game on launch.
Because right now with world first beta testers now, the problem is Blizzard's really designing raids around add-ons. Back in the day, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, they banned add-ons for giving you a heads up on what the boss was doing. It was illegal. And now it's like it's the thing to do, and it makes it impossible for normal or lobby players to actually enjoy the game, because what's normal mode now used to be heroic mode back in the day, and it's like every boss has a one-shot mechanic. Every boss has one person died, you're done. Yeah. And that's not fun for anybody unless I'm getting paid by World of Warcraft, or I have a job that's dependent upon them raids and I'm getting sponsors and deals and all this.
Yeah.
There's no point in me suffering through all that. That's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Basically, you're forcing me to do porn for free, and I don't enjoy doing porn for free, because you're going to shove it up my butt. At least pay me for it and give me some lube. Because right now you're going in dry. Not a asking. You don't even buy me dinner the next day. I mean, I'm just left homeless and hungry on the corner. Thanks. Appreciate it, Blizzard. Thank you.
I would say one of the nice things is during the Asmongold interview, Asmongold did ask Ian about the combat add-ons, and Ian said it is something that they're talking about. It's literally just getting rid of those add-ons is where things get problematic. And I agreed with Ian's response there. I don't have a problem if all the add-on is doing is providing you with information in perhaps a more optimal way. So as long as all the information is in the game, one of the reasons I use something like Weak Auras, for example, is I don't want to look at the top right-hand corner of my screen to see if I have a specific debuff, if that's an important debuff to check for. So it's nice to be able to create it on my screen where I need it, and bam, that's done. But where they draw the line, and where I would say most of the boss mods these days step far over that line, is when it goes into actually providing you with solutions to given problems. And I mean, Daily Boss mods and Big Wigs absolutely provide solutions to problems. They no longer just provide you with data.
They'd actually show you where to go, left, right, forward, backwards.
Exactly. There was, even with Weak Auras, you had Star Augur, where the right string of Weak Auras would basically nullify the entire mechanic. because the
you
mechanic,
didn't have to do it anymore.
yeah, you had to do fuck all, because basically it would just pop up your head, you go to the other person that it popped up on, and bam, it's a good game, thanks for playing. So at the end of the day, it is imperative that Blizzard solve the issues with add-ons, and I think they know that. I think they're aware that add-ons needs to be fixed, because the way it is going right now is not optimal.
And I do wish they bring back the bougie coins from back in the day in Burning Crusade to get your gear from Zul'Aman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just collecting little tokens and stuff. Because it gives you a reason to log in every day and do your dailies. I mean, because it's something fun to do. You know, you're definitely getting that piece of tier gear because you worked for it. Not just grabbing this magical box of wonderment. I hope you don't get the same thing for the 5th week in a fucking row.
I mean,
it's shitty.
There, I would agree with you. I think Marks is better than the Vault, but then at the same time, Blizzard does not seem to have any interest in going back to, Conquest Marks or anything like that. It seems like Blizzard is happy with the Vault, and I guess if you're gonna have an entire expansion that has nothing that forces people to log in every day, let's give them one system. You know, they want to keep the Vault because they want people to at least log in once a week and do some shit. All right, fine. You know, I can probably concede on the Vault for now.
So I guess you could say Blizzard takes after Bobby Kotick. They're only good for stuff in boxes. Got it.
I mean, Bobby Kotick, I think, is in many ways to blame for where World of Warcraft and Blizzard is. I lay the blame solely at his feet. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying that Ian is innocent. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that anyone is innocent.
Well, Ian turned a blank stare sideways. You know, I'm prior military, I'm a disabled veteran. You know, we call it turning a blind eye. In other words, you know, he knew what was going on. He's got a good idea what's happening.
Yeah.
But to stay in the good graces and still get paid, I'm not going to talk about this subject. I'm going to ignore that and just feed you a bunch of jumble that really don't make any sense and beats around the bush, and you got to accept that as an answer.
I mean, Ian is a lawyer, right? So
he is, and he does. He actually has a lawyer's degree. He did go to the bar.
Yeah. He was a lawyer, and then he got a job at Blizzard, and he's been working there ever since. So Ian is probably the perfect corporate speaker for Activision Blizzard. But, you know, all things considered, I think I love where Dragonflight is heading. I hope
it's good.
I don't have copium this time around. So this time around, I'm far more, let's wait and see, but I love the direction. I think the game is going the right way.
From copium and opium, now mine's pray-opium. I'm praying.
Hey, that's all we can do at this point, is just pray that the game is going to be good. And everything they have there screams that it might be. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for the question.
Appreciate it. I was kind of dizzy-headed when you brought me in here, because I look up to you, dude. Like, you were famous with Method streaming, you know, raiding and all. And then all of a sudden I'm in the voice channel, like, oh my god, catch my damn breath.
I appreciate the kind words, but I'm definitely, I don't try to be famous. I just like hanging out. So
well, in my
you're
book of
always
books,
welcome.
Dude, you're famous. All right, man. You have a good blessed day, man, and God bless.
Thank you very much, dude. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Peace out,
You
bro.
too, man. God bless. Peace.